So I have exactly 1 month until my largest event of the entire year, and can you tell I'm a little bit nervous? Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Melanie, and while I'm not working my full-time corporate job as a financial analyst, I run my own small business called Melagurumi, where I specialize in making and selling crochet plushies. For the last, I want to say, year and a half or so, I've been mainly focusing on making plushies to have inventory to be able to sell at in-person events like markets and conventions. And my most successful event thus far has been Anime Weekend Atlanta. Last year was my very first time vending for Anime Weekend Atlanta, but it was also my very first artist alley and very first convention at that scale, period. So any expectations I had were just completely blown out of the water, and I was just so shocked at how great of an event it was. So I'm sure you can imagine how excited I was when I saw that I was accepted to be a vendor again this year. When I applied last year, I was actually originally waitlisted, and then I had just asked for feedback on my portfolio so I could apply again for next year, aka this year. But they mentioned I was actually pretty high on the waitlist and asked if I could accept a table last minute if one were to open up. And then literally just a couple weeks later, after the initial acceptances, I got an email saying I got a table. And then this year I was accepted right off the bat, so that was really nice reassurance. But now that I've already done the event once before, I have a much better understanding of how much I need to prep, certain quantities of items that I need to have, other things to consider that isn't even specifically just crocheting the items. So when 2024 rolled around, I knew that I had to start prepping way earlier if I wanted to have enough inventory. Last year I had around 200 to 250 individual items, totaling to, I want to say, close to $8,000 worth in inventory. And if you've watched my Anime Weekend Atlanta vlog from last year, you already know that that was not enough to keep me in stock for all 3 days. So looking at this year with 4 days of the Artist Alley open, I at least have a baseline for what I should be making and how much of each. At this current moment in time, I definitely have a lot more in stock than I did last year, so I'm really excited to have everything displayed. Almost everything I crocheted this year so far has been for this event in particular, and quantity-wise, it's definitely a lot more than what I had last year. So I'm in a much better spot, but I still internally feel like there's so many other things I need to make. But again, and this is something I've been constantly reminding myself a lot more recently, I am one person. I can only make so many things with these two hands, and I've definitely been experiencing a lot of strain on my body as a result of going so hard at this. So this is yet another reminder to myself, but also to any of you who are also in the same boat as I am, to be proud of what you've done so far. Take a breath, and everything will be okay. Since I've been pacing myself for the entire year so far, I feel like I'm in a spot where I can breathe a little bit more, but there's still so much more on my list that I want to make for this event, and so many other miscellaneous things I need to take care of that isn't just the actual crocheting part. So those are our tasks for today's video. We're going to be working on a few more items here and there, and then switching gears to edit some of my signage and get those reprinted, doing some last minute inventory and pricing checks, and let's try not to have any mental breakdowns this month. So yeah, let's get this started and let's see what we can get done. Hello. It feels like it's been a while since I last checked in because it honestly has been a few weeks since I last picked up the camera. To be quite honest with you, I haven't really been in the mood to film things, and as a result of that, it's making me push off a lot of things that I need to get done because I want to be recording what I'm doing to put in this video. I don't know, like the idea of filming what I need to get done just seemed like such a daunting task to me that instead of just getting it over and done with, I've just not done it as a result, and instead I've just been using that time to crochet more things, which I do need to do, but there's so many other things aside from actually crocheting that I really need to get done in order to be fully prepared for my upcoming convention. So today I'm really just pushing myself to say hi. And today couldn't have been like a worse day to decide to do that. Honestly, since I woke up this morning, I've just been in like kind of a mood. That time of the month decided to show up, and I was just super busy with my full-time job today, and then just thinking ahead on everything I have to get done over these next couple weeks. The overwhelm, I think, is finally starting to get to me, and just the combination of everything going on is like really testing my emotional stability right now. So today for me has not been a very good day so far, but keyword so far because my workday may have already ended by now. It's 5 o'clock at the moment, but The day itself isn't completely over yet, so we still have a few hours to change that around. At least that's the mindset I'm trying to put myself in. I have a couple errands I need to take care of before the end of the week. Today is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and tomorrow after work I'm driving back to my parents in North Carolina to be home for Thanksgiving. So we're going to get out of the house in a little bit, and I think that'll be a really good way for me to kind of take my mind off of everything and distract myself into just doing other things, including a Michael's run. So that should help. But when we get back, we can switch gears from focusing on the actual crocheting part into more admin related stuff, which I personally don't find super boring. I kind of like computer work because I like being on the computer, I guess. But it's just different type of stuff that, like I said, I wanted to film myself doing. Real quick, before I head out, let me show you guys what I've been able to make over the past day or so, just as a little check-in. So I had made 3 of these little octopi. It's a free pattern from Crochet by Jenna on Instagram and YouTube. I had made a few of these for my last market back in June, the one for Zoo Atlanta, and these were the 3 colors that sold. So I had remade them so I can have that kind of 5 colors of the rainbow like I usually do with some of these items. So I had made 3 more yesterday, totaling to 5 octopi at the moment. And then I've just been churning out as many of these little guys as I possibly can. This is called a poro from the game League of Legends, which I've never played before, but I know is a pretty popular character. I made a few of these for DreamHack last year and they went super quickly. I had to make a whole bunch throughout the weekend to restock for my booth because they just kept going. But with the last season of Arcane finishing up, I think League will be a little bit more popular at this time. So at the moment I currently have 28 of these and my goal is 30, but the whole point of going to Michael's is because I'm running out of the white yarn. This is all I have left and this will not be enough to make one more. So definitely need to get more in order to make more poros. But this is a free pattern by Ami Karako on Instagram. These only take me less than an hour each to finish up, and the pattern itself is pretty simple, so these don't take too long to make. So yeah, I'm trying to switch gears from focusing on the larger, more intricate, detailed items and characters to the smaller, more market prep friendly items, because those I can make larger quantities of, and just based off my experience last year for both of the conventions I did, the smaller, cheaper items are usually the ones that go quicker. So I want to make sure I have enough stock of my options, you know? But again, crocheting is not the focus of today. So let's get out of the house for a little bit, move around, and then we can come back and switch gears to more business stuff. Honestly, even talking for these past few minutes has already made me a little bit better. So thank you for listening. All right, be right back.
A few moments later.
All right, so I'm finally back after a few hours, and honestly, that was just really much needed. Walking around and just doing other things and taking my mind off of everything that I got going on, honestly just made me feel a lot better. So maybe retail therapy does work. We got our white, so we have more of those now. I ended up getting 3 skeins because the current deal at Michael's is buy 2 get 1 free for yarn, which honestly isn't the best deal that I've seen. They've definitely done 50% off all yarn in the past, but I think more recently they've kind of strayed away from that and are doing more buy 1 get 1 50% off, or 30% off all yarn is probably their best deal right now, which is essentially what I ended up getting. I was trying to get Sweet Snuggles Light, but the 4 skeins that they had there were really poorly made. The quality of the yarn was not up to my standard, at least. Between Sweet Snuggles Light and Chenille Home Slim from Michael's, I honestly prefer Sweet Snuggles Light over Chenille Home Slim. I think it holds up a little bit better in my opinion, and they both shed, but I feel like Chenille Home Slim sheds a lot more. I've been using the white Chenille Home Slim for the poros, and sewing the little bearded part on all of them is really annoying because it sheds so much at the tail, so it just makes sewing a lot more difficult. But the quality of this one was a lot better than Sweet Snuggles Light in store, so I just decided to suck it up and continue with the Chenille Home Slim. So we're good to go with making more poros. But right now it's 8 o'clock and I have dinner in the oven, So I'm gonna eat and shower and get myself comfortable, and then we can finally start on the computer work. So I don't know if you can tell on my little doodle over there, I was just mapping out my 8x8 booth space. Unfortunately, I found out that I have a corner table, which some might see as an advantage, but with the booth layout I had in mind, I was thinking more of like an inner U shape with my 6-foot table and then 2 shelving on the flanking the sides. So I can't really do that with a corner setup if a second wall is open. Not sure what to do. I was thinking like maybe I could shift the table around like diagonally a little bit and then angle the shelving, but I don't think I have enough space to do that. Oh my god. I was like praying for an inline booth and I don't know how to use this corner booth to my advantage because the layout I had in mind only required 1 entry point. It's like this. Damn it. My booth setup would have been perfect for an inline. But now I don't know what to do. So if you've watched some of my videos from earlier this year, you may recognize this handbag from Teddy Blake that I received a few months ago. And ever since I got it, this has been my go-to bag almost every time I go out now. I usually like to carry a whole bunch of things with me, so the 11-inch size has been perfect for all of that, including crochet supplies. I've definitely bumped this bag into a few things while I've been out, but the leather has been holding up amazing. There's absolutely no scratches or anything at all. With the holidays coming up, this would be the perfect gift for someone in your life that wants that little extra touch of class and quality for only a fraction of the price. So if you're interested, definitely check out Teddy Blake for up to 51% off on their selection from now until December 3rd. Thank you so much again to Teddy Blake for sponsoring this video. I love my bag and it's been an absolute game changer. So really quickly, I just wanted to come on and show all of you the current inventory for Anime Week in Atlanta. So aside from a few items like the giant Coochie Kopi in that corner, Phoenix, the character from Valorant, and a couple of the other Pokemon, I had made everything else just in this year. It didn't feel like it throughout the year because I would just finish an item, then toss it with everything else and not look at it. But after pulling everything out and seeing it all together like this, I finally realized that I've made a lot of things this year. There's still so many things I want to have available, but there's only so much time in a day. And I keep reminding myself that I did a lot and I should be proud of myself, which I am. I am proud of myself, but there's always more that needs to be done. On that note, I think we're gonna end this video here. It's a really busy time for me and I'm so scatterbrained and that's being reflected in my work, clearly. We still have quite a lot to do. We have less than 2 weeks left until Anime Week in Atlanta. There's still quite a bit we have to do, like practicing my booth setup and stamping more bags and making sure I have enough business cards and doing more shirts and stuff like that. So that may come in a separate vlog. It might be tagged on to my Anime Week in Atlanta vlog. We'll just see what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching and joining this kind of chaotic vlog. I do want to preface that I was able to crochet all of these items from using patterns that I found online. Let me know if you have a favorite out of all of these options. And if you're curious about any of the patterns I used, let me know and I'll do my best to answer. There's just way too many items and too many patterns that I use to list them all out. I think that's everything now. So thanks again and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.